Imagine this. You're standing in front of a woman who seems completely out of your league. She's confident, attractive, and used to men doing everything they can to impress her. Yet somehow, she sees you differently. Not as another man seeking approval, but as someone she can't quite figure out, someone who captures her attention. What if I told you that even the most confident women have psychological blind spots that most men never notice? And if you understand them, you won't need to chase attraction. You'll naturally shift the dynamic in your favor. This isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding human nature. Because attraction isn't driven by logic. It's driven by emotion. Most men focus on surface-level qualities, looks, money, status, or clever words. But the men who truly stand out understand something deeper. They understand what creates emotional impact. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you stop reacting to a woman's moods, tests, or uncertainty and instead remain calm, observant, and grounded, you become different from most men. And that difference is attractive. You don't need to force anything. You simply need to become a man who knows his worth and refuses to give it away for free. Before we begin, let me make one thing clear. This is not about controlling women. It's about understanding the psychological forces that influence attraction so you can show up as your strongest self. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When your mind is filled with purpose, self-respect, and confidence, your presence reflects it. And people notice. Let's begin. Weakness number 1, the need for emotional escape. Most men think women choose partners through pure logic. But attraction is often tied to emotion and experience. Women remember how a man makes them feel. They are drawn to men who create emotional variety and excitement. This is why so many men end up in the friend zone. They're predictable. They send the same messages every day. They agree with everything she says. They're comfortable, but they're not memorable. Women don't fall for comfort alone. They fall for experiences. They fall for men who make them feel something different. That doesn't mean creating drama. It means creating emotional contrast. Have your own opinions. Challenge her respectfully. Tell stories. Be interesting. Be someone she can't immediately categorize. The moment she sees you as an experience rather than just another guy, her curiosity begins to grow. And curiosity is powerful. Weakness number 2, respect for strong boundaries. Many men believe being endlessly available makes them attractive. In reality, it often makes them easy to take for granted. Women are naturally drawn to men who value themselves. Men who can say no. Men who protect their time. Men who don't abandon their standards just to gain approval. Strong boundaries communicate self-respect. And self-respect creates attraction. Women test boundaries all the time, consciously or unconsciously. They may cancel plans. Push your buttons. Challenge your opinions. The question isn't whether she'll test you. The question is how you'll respond. When you stay calm and stand by your values, she begins to respect you. And respect is one of the strongest foundations of attraction. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." When you're not dependent on her approval, you become far more attractive. Weakness number 3. The power of uncertainty. Think about your favorite movie or television show. What kept you watching? It wasn't certainty. It was mystery. The same principle applies to attraction. When a woman knows exactly what you're thinking, exactly what you're feeling, and exactly what you're going to do next, the excitement fades. But when there's a little mystery, curiosity grows. This doesn't mean playing games. It means avoiding overexposure. You don't need to reveal everything immediately. You don't need to text back within seconds every time. You don't need to constantly reassure her. Leave room for discovery. Leave room for anticipation. People value what they invest in emotionally. And uncertainty often increases emotional investment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When you're comfortable with uncertainty yourself, you naturally become more intriguing to others. Weakness number 4, attraction to leadership. Most men think women want someone who constantly agrees with them. In reality, women are often attracted to men who are decisive. Men who know where they're going. Men who take initiative. Leadership isn't about control. It's about direction. It's about having a vision and acting with confidence. Instead of asking endless questions, make decisions. Instead of waiting for permission, take responsibility. People naturally trust those who seem certain of themselves. Women are no different. A man who knows what he wants and pursues it confidently stands out in a world full of hesitation. As Epictetus taught, greatness is not built overnight. Leadership is a skill developed through practice, responsibility, and consistency. Weakness number 5, the attraction of purpose. This may be the most important point of all. Women do not want to be the center of your universe. They want to be part of a life that already has meaning. Many men make the mistake of placing a woman at the center of everything. They abandon their goals. Ignore their ambitions. Restructure their lives around her. And ironically, attraction often disappears. Why? Because purpose is attractive. Ambition is attractive. Direction is attractive. A woman wants to join a meaningful journey. She doesn't want to become the journey itself. When you have goals, passions, and a mission larger than yourself, you become magnetic. Not because you're ignoring her, but because your happiness doesn't depend entirely on her. Seneca reminded us that life is wasted when we abandon our purpose. Never sacrifice your mission to gain someone's approval. Let her become part of your world, not the center of it. So what should you take away from all of this? Create emotional contrast. Develop strong boundaries. Maintain a little mystery. Lead with confidence. And keep your purpose at the center of your life. These are not tricks. These are qualities. They're the characteristics of a grounded, confident man. And becoming that man doesn't happen overnight. It happens through daily choices. One decision at a time. One boundary at a time. One act of self-respect at a time. You don't need to become someone else. You simply need more clarity, more purpose, and more confidence in who you already are. The man who understands this doesn't chase. He grows. And growth creates attraction naturally. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Fill your mind with purpose, discipline, and self-respect. Your presence will reflect it. And in a world filled with men desperately seeking validation, a man who is centered in himself becomes impossible to ignore. Be that man. Build that life. And watch how everything begins to change. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more insights on psychology, attraction, and personal growth. Until next time, stay focused, stay disciplined, and remember: the strongest man is the one who doesn't need to prove anything.